Everyone witnessed me step over the edge. My husband's silent departure said it all. The first thing I registered wasn't the laughter. It was the stillness. When I pulled back from Mark's lips, the bar still buzzed with Friday night noise. My eyes darted automatically to the spot where Daniel had been standing moments before. He was gone. The drink he'd been nursing sat abandoned, half-finished, condensation sliding down the glass. His stool was empty, slowly spinning, as if it still remembered him. And right then, I knew exactly what I'd done. My stomach dropped so hard I thought my knees would buckle. Because Daniel, my husband, the man who'd stood beside me through every mistake, every sleepless night, every storm, had seen it. He had seen me kiss another man. Worse, everyone had. The room warped around me. People tried to laugh, to talk, to act as if they hadn't just witnessed a fracture deep enough to split a marriage, but I could feel their eyes. And Daniel's wordless exit screamed everything I wasn't ready to face. A week earlier, Daniel had been quieter than usual, though he'd never admit something was wrong. That was his way. He preferred to carry his wounds privately rather than lay them at my feet. He worked long hours at the architecture firm, came home drained, still offering me a faint smile as though he owed me that small kindness. And I noticed. I always noticed. Big project, I'd asked one evening, sliding his plate of pasta across the table. Something like that, he muttered, pushing food around. Deadlines are brutal. That was it. No details, no rants, no venting, just silence. And I, selfishly, let resentment fester. Why wouldn't he talk to me? Why did I feel like a ghost across the table, my words bouncing off the walls of his mind? That was when Mark returned. Mark, the man I'd dated briefly in college, the one with the easy grin and reckless charm. He appeared at a coworker's birthday party, beer in hand, flashing that grin like an open door. "You haven't changed," he said, hugging me a little too long. Still the brightest one in the room. I should have stepped back. I should have walked away. Instead, I smiled because for the first time in weeks, someone saw me. The night, everything shattered. It wasn't supposed to happen. I told myself that during the drive to the bar, sitting next to Daniel, who'd agreed, reluctantly, to join my colleagues. He hated bars. Too loud, too crowded. He preferred quiet dinners, slow nights, the rhythm of our private life. But I pushed. Maybe I wanted him to see me differently. Maybe I wanted to prove, even to myself, that we still fit together in public, not just behind closed doors. The music thumped, the drinks flowed, and Mark hovered nearby, always laughing, always brushing against me when no one looked. I told myself it was harmless. Just nostalgia. Just playful until it wasn't. At some point, Daniel moved off to the bar for another drink. That's when Mark leaned closer, his breath warm against my ear. "Still as beautiful as ever," he murmured. And before I could think, before I could retreat, I leaned into him. Our lips met. It lasted maybe 3 seconds, but 3 seconds was enough to detonate everything, because when I opened my eyes, Daniel was gone. I rushed after him, stumbling through the crowd, my heart pounding so hard it hurt. The night air slapped my face as I pushed out the bar's doors, scanning the street. Then I saw him, Daniel, walking briskly toward the car, shoulders rigid, fists clenched. "Daniel," I called, my voice breaking. "Please wait." He didn't stop. He unlocked the car, slid inside, and shut the door without looking at me. The sound of it slammed louder than any scream. By the time I reached the car, he'd already started the engine. "Daniel, please let me explain." His eyes flicked to me briefly. What I saw froze me. Not rage, not hatred, but devastation. Then he pulled away, the tires screeching as his car disappeared into the night. I stood trembling, my breath fogging in the cold. The truth of what I'd done crashed over me like a wave. I had betrayed him, in public. Daniel didn't come home that night. Or the next. I called, texted, nothing. His silence was punishment I knew I'd earned, but it was unbearable. Each empty hour cut deeper. When he finally did return 3 days later, he was different. Colder. Distant. He carried a duffel bag I'd never seen, dropped it in the hallway, and walked past me without a word. "Daniel," I whispered, following him. "Please, we need to talk." "There's nothing to talk about." His voice was flat. "Yes, there is. It was a mistake. I didn't mean." "You didn't mean for me to see," he snapped. His eyes locked onto mine, sharp and unyielding. "Or you didn't mean to do it at all?" I opened my mouth, but nothing came out. What excuse could justify it? He shook his head, a bitter laugh escaping. "Everyone saw it, Claire. Everyone. Do you know what that felt like?" Tears blurred my vision. "I'm sorry. I was drunk. I wasn't thinking." "Don't insult me." His words sliced through me. "You kissed him because you wanted to, and you knew I was there." Silence fell heavy between us. I reached for him, but he stepped back. "I don't know if I can ever look at you the same way again," he said quietly. Weeks dragged by, colder each time. Daniel moved into the guest room, left earlier for work, came home later. We spoke only of bills, groceries, schedules. The intimacy that bound us had evaporated, leaving only a hollow shell. One night, unable to take it anymore, I knocked on his door. "Daniel, please. Yell at me, hate me. Just don't shut me out." He looked up from the book he wasn't reading, his eyes red, his face drawn. "You broke something in me, Claire," he said softly. "And I don't know if it can be fixed." The tears I'd been holding back poured out. "I love you. I made a mistake. Please don't give up on us." He shook his head slowly. "Love isn't supposed to feel like humiliation. And that's all I feel when I think of you now." The next morning Daniel was gone. Not just to work. His clothes were missing. The duffel bag was gone. The closet stood half empty. On the kitchen counter sat an envelope with my name in his handwriting. My hands shook as I opened it. "Claire, I can't do this anymore. I can't live with the image of you in someone else's arms burned into my head. I thought we were stronger. I thought we had something worth keeping, but your choices told me otherwise. I don't hate you. I just can't stay. Daniel." The words blurred as I crumpled to the floor, sobbing. His silent exit from the bar had been the beginning of the end. Now the silence was permanent. It's been months since Daniel left, but I still replay that night. The laughter, the kiss, the moment he vanished into the crowd. I would give anything to rewrite it, to pull away before crossing the line. But I can't. And now when people look at me, they don't see the woman who once had a loving husband. They see the woman who threw it all away for 3 seconds of weakness.